Well, Rocky had a really rough night last night, and I don't understand what's going on with him. Um, I've had him actually 3 years this month. And when I first got him, he's a rescue bird, and something happened to him. He was traumatized. And he squeezed his body up here in this ledge for the first few weeks, and he wouldn't come down except for food and water. And then slowly he would come down more and more. And during the day, I leave the cage door open all day long, and he only comes out about once every 2 months, and he'll fly around the room once or twice, go back onto the cage, the top of the cage, and he'll go back in. And when I first got him, he flew more. He would come out of his cage more, but he couldn't fly well. And he would get so upset that he'd hit the wall, and he'd slide down the wall behind the furniture, and I'd have to get him. And he just gave up. It was so bad, traumatic for him. So he kind of gave up. And then I guess he got more confidence, and he was flying better to go around the living room once or twice. And I thought, well, he'll do that more often, but he doesn't. He only does it maybe once every 2 months. So about 2 months ago, when I shut the overhead light off, I'm going to shut the overhead light off. I'm going to show you what he's been doing. All right, so I have another light on, but look, as soon as the overhead light goes off, he squeezes his body back in to his, and he'll sleep there all night because there's poop on the floor. And I know he's been there all night. And I don't know why he's doing that. I mean, he's happy during the day. He tweets, he talks during the day. And this just started. So I'm like, okay, as long as he's talking and tweeting during the day, he must be okay. And I'll close the door like this at night, but I don't click it. I just close it. And then I put, this is an old linen tablecloth, and I don't put it over the whole cage. I leave this side of the cage open, but I cover, hold on a second. I can't do this, and oh, sorry about that. Okay, so you could see every night, this is how I cover his cage, and it's because it's hot out. I leave like the whole side of the cage open. So this side of the cage is open. The whole front is covered. This is where his door is. You know, it's covered on the side, it's covered in the back, and it's just opened on this side. So I said goodnight to him last night. He was, in his little corner over there. And let me take this off. It's okay, baby. It's okay. He had a bad night. I'm going to turn the light on. He's probably ready for bed. All right. So it's okay, baby boy. So last night, I got up about 5 o'clock in the morning, and my back was bothering me. So I grabbed my phone off the kitchen table and I listened to like a podcast. It kind of relaxes me, and I'll go back to sleep for a few more hours. So it was, I guess, about 5 in the morning, and it was dark, and I have a little light in the kitchen, and I saw like a long, thin thing on the floor, and I wasn't sure what it was. And I know Rocky's been molting a lot, but I haven't seen a long feather in like a week. I'm like, how did this long feather get in my kitchen? And I thought, well, maybe because I'm walking around with bare feet, it's stuck on my foot. So I picked it up and I was like, yeah, it's a long feather. And I threw it in the garbage. I'm in the kitchen. I throw it in the garbage. I go back to bed. I get up a couple hours later, like a few hours later, it's light out. And, the cage is covered. And I go into the kitchen and I hear tweeting in the kitchen. I hear a bird tweeting and I'm like, my first thought is, how did a bird get in my kitchen? And I'm looking around for the bird and I hear tweet, tweet, tweet. And I look down near my door going out to the garage and it's a cold slab. I'm on a slab and it's a tile floor. And Rocky is sitting on the floor and there's poop all over, so he must have been there all night. And there's other feathers, longer feathers, on the kitchen. I have a rug on the kitchen rug. And so I put my hand down. He jumps up on my finger. And I sat down on the kitchen chair and he was just like sitting there and he's like jumpy. I'm like, what the heck? I came in the living room. The cover is still on the cage. The door is closed like this. So why during the day he won't come out? And yet, how did he must have pushed this open, but the cover was up against it and he went under the cover? Like, Rocky he just doesn't want to come out of his cage. If he was the type of bird that came out and liked to play, but as I said, I mean, for him to come out once every 2 months is like a big deal for him. And for him to actually do that, I was like, this doesn't make any sense at all. And then I thought, well, maybe he heard something on the deck, but I'm a light sleeper and I would have heard it. But I looked outside on the deck, nothing was disturbed. I have chairs, tables, nothing was disturbed. I thought maybe a bear came up to get the hummingbird feeder, but I mean, everything would have been messed up if a bear came up there, and that never happened. Nothing on the deck, so he didn't hear anything. And he went in the kitchen. That was the first time he ever went in the kitchen. Maybe when he came out of the cage, it was dark in the living room, and I have a little light in the kitchen, and that's why he went in there and he couldn't find his way back. I don't know, but I had the ceiling fan on in the kitchen, and that ceiling fan is low. So I don't understand what happened to him. So when I put him to bed at night, I'm going to have to lock the cage door. And he hasn't made one sound all day. Not one tweet, nothing. And he's been like jumping. He's eating, he's drinking, but he's very jumpy, and he hasn't made not even a chirp. So I'm hoping that he gets a good sleep tonight. You're going to get a good sleepy? I'm going to turn the light off now and cover him up. And hopefully you're going to have a good sleepy. He's jumpy. The poor little guy. I mean, that was really traumatic for him to be out of his cage all night. And he was really, when he heard me, he was really tweeting his head off, like in distress. So I don't know why he did that and why he's doing this. But I mean, I know a lot about birds. I've had them, but I don't know. I mean, I can't get in his head. I don't know what he's thinking, why he would be doing this. So that was Rocky's Midnight Ramble. You're a midnight rambler, Rock. This is a midnight rambler, baby. Don't do that again. Please, baby, don't. All right. That's his story for today. Thank God he didn't hit the ceiling fan. All right. Bye.